Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, one of the things that agitates the mind of man the most is the idea of the perfect crime. So this is one of the things that fascinates people the most, the idea of a perfect crime. And one of the better examples of a perfect crime is what is going on in Nigeria at the moment. So what is going on in Nigeria at the moment is close to the perfect crime. The Nigerian president is a 80-something-year-old man who is of a debilitating health, and in 2015, this man now, this 80-something-year-old Malam Buhari, he suffered a severe medical episode to the point that it has affected him cranially. So the functioning of his brain now is not to full lucidity. So this is a man now that is in the throes of acute dementia, and this is the situation now that Nigeria finds itself. So this is a situation, and it is resolved because, of course, the constitution and the structurings of the country facilitates for that. But where the perfect crime actually takes place is that the handlers of this man, Malam Buhari, they have circled round him entirely so that nobody can access him fully except in moments of lucidity. So they only allow access to Malam Buhari in moments of lucidity, so that you will just come in. Maybe they would have pumped him heavily with medication just to spark him up and heighten him, and then they will present him to whoever has come to see him, and then that person then gets a window of about 20 minutes because they will tell that person that he's busy, so they'll ferry him in and ferret him out, and then of course that person then will report back that he has seen the president, but not really. So a man in the advanced stages, at least in the heavy throes of dementia, this is the president of Nigeria, and he has been in that advanced stage of medical need since pretty much 2015 when he effectively took charge of the Nigerian state. So now, how and why I am describing it as the perfect crime is, these people circle around him and guide him and guard him in the way that I've just described, but then of course they make the decisions for him, because of course they'll make a decision and then pump him up with medication and say this is the decision, assent to it, and then he will assent to that decision, and then they'll put him back in his bed with his nurses to continue to convalesce. So this is the situation, and these people, of course, they are shadowy figures, they are unelected, they have no sense of Nigeria, and they're just out to make as much money as they can. So abject, unfeathered, and brutal criminal to the core looting of the Nigerian coffers is now what is going on now. Is just a mad grab for as much dollars as they can steal. They thought they had 4 years, but now they have an additional 4 years. So they're just going to loot the entirety of the place in its entirety. And this, of course, is the perfect crime, because they'll do it all under the name of the president. And the president, of course, I think Dino Milaye actually just came out with a video that Malam Buhari is in transition, and that transition, of course, is not that it's transiting the country to a better place, but what Dino Milaye described was a transition to meet his ancestors. So this is a man now that is in the final stages, and these people now recognize that, and they are keeping him alive and active with heavy duty medication so that they can continue to loot the Nigerian coffers at will. And of course, after they have done that, they will just disappear, because these people, you'll be surprised, I'm sure you will not be surprised, but these people, as soon as the Buhari regime comes to an end, these people, even the minute before that regime comes to an end, they are all on the first flight, and they don't even have to take a commercial flight because they all have fleets of private jets. So they are all on their private jets to wherever they have bought themselves citizenships to, Canada, Dubai, etc., and off they disappear, and then they'll monitor the situation from a distance to see if they can come now and sit on the wealth that they have stolen from the Nigerian state. So this is the goings on within the Nigerian state, the perfect crime. As guys, I bring you this. How APC chieftain Danu, customs boss, defrauded Nigerian government of 51 billion naira, wired 2.5 billion to Buhari's daughter. So, of course, I mean, this comes as no surprise to anyone, but it is really the sums of money that continues to upset me anytime I come across this sort of narrative. And the reason why this thing particularly upsets me is not that it comes as a surprise, it's not that we don't know that it is happening, but when you hear the sums of monies that these people are looting, you cannot help but think about the value cost of that money, because of course the value cost is the things that that money could have been used for, but is not now being used for because it has been looted by these people. And the things that those monies can be used for, we're talking about hospitals, roads, bridges, etc., infrastructures, all this sort of like needs, transportation, all the needs to propel the country into a stable and steady and a safe space, and to create employment and create opportunities, electricity, etc. So all of these monies, so 50 billion this one has looted, that one will loot 150 billion, and then the next man 80 billion, and all of this, of course, they are not printed money. And if you are thinking naira, that money is backed by the Nigerian economy, which is effectively the petrol dollar that we're exporting from the Niger Delta region. So it is not free money, and it's just not money that is being printed at the central bank. This is taken out of the economy. So that is why I find it most egregious, as again, how APC chieftain Danu, customs boss, defrauded Nigerian government of 51 billion naira, wired 2.5 billion to Buhari's daughter. So now let's now see now what this now latest intrigue is all about. A chieftain of the All Progressive Congress, Alhaji Nasiru Halidu Danu, and some top officials of the Nigerian Customs Service recently defrauded the Nigerian government of 51 billion naira, top sources in the agency told correspondents. Danu is an arrowhead in what is now known in some quarters as President Muhammadu Buhari's oil mafia group. Correspondents gathered the 51 billion naira was meant to improve customs revenue. A source said the fraud, which implicates the Comptroller General of the NCS, Colonel Hamid Ali, retired, was named revenue assurance fraud by some officials of the agency. Another source said 2.5 billion naira was also transferred to a foundation owned by Buhari's daughter Zahra, for which Dunu is a signatory. Some top customs operatives and one Alhaji Nasiru Halidu Danu shared 51 billion naira. 2.5 billion out of the fund was transferred to a foundation owned by President Muhammadu Buhari's daughter. Comptroller General Hamid Ali has been on low-key since the scandal broke out. They have him by the vice grip, one source said. In 2019, Danu made headlines when he was arrested at Heathrow Airport, United Kingdom, for an alleged passport scam and money laundering. Correspondents gathered that the Dan Amana Dutsi was caught with fake Malta passport and in his possession more than £200,000 in cash. Sources said the £200,000 in cash, which Danu was carrying to give someone in the United Kingdom, according to him, was likely meant for Aisha Buhari, who was then in London. In 2019, his flagship company, Casiva, was listed amongst the 15 consortia/companies awarded the 2019-2020 contracts for the exchange of crude oil for imported petrol products by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC). The news company was also in 2016 awarded contract for the provision of pipeline security and maintenance services along Kaduna-Kano and Zaria-Gusau segment. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's just abject looting. I don't really think anybody is caught off guard by anything that is going on here, because as I said, this is the perfect crime that is going on within the Nigerian space. It's just abject looting. So just look at the sums of money that is in contention, and for you to get a good gauge of the sums of money that is in contention, Nigeria is the 5th to 7th largest oil exporting country in the world. So we're talking about vast fortunes. So they are now awarding these guys just like a vague, spurious, non-existent oil contracts where this guy is just signing off dollar sums to the point that he's now taking 200,000 pounds to London for Aisha Buhari to spend for the weekend. And to the point also that this guy will just go to the customs house and just sign himself a 51 billion naira check and just walk away. So it's just the criminality of it is really what jars the senses. And these people, they have no compunction, they have no morality, they have no sense of any sort of like a Nigerianness or patriotism. They of course pick up the newspapers and see what is going on in the country, but they don't really care. But if Babangida can get away with stealing that 30-40 billion dollars that he looted, if Abacha can get away with stealing the $50 billion that he looted, if Obasanjo can get away with however many billion dollars that he looted, then why would the criminality stop with them? And of course, Buhari now, as we already know, is a very sick man who does not have full possession of his mental faculties anymore. So it is now a free-for-all within that space. Now everybody is just looting, and imagine looting solid. Nigeria is in the top 20 to top 25 biggest economies in the world. So imagine now having a top 25 largest economy, one of the top 25 largest economies in the world, handed in its entirety in the hands of criminals for 8 solid years. This is effectively, and there's no word of a lie, there's no exaggeration, there's no hyperbole in what I've just said. Effectively now, what we have as a situation in Nigeria is the 25th, one of the top 25 largest economies in the world, being handed wholesale to the hands of criminals to have their feast and their fill and to run wild and amok for 8 solid years. This is what is going on, and you expect that country to recover and you expect a bounce back. Conversations in the comment section. $51 billion is what these people have signed to themselves. I am alarmed, though I am not surprised. But what are your sentiments? Come share them with me in the comment section. But before you come into the comment section to engage, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. The bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Click on like as well, because that helps with the YouTube algorithm. Once you've done all the clickings, they are just scrambling over each other and stabbing each other in the back. Yeah, of course, what is his name? The Attorney General, Abubakar Malami, and Magu being a good example of that. They are stabbing each other in the back as they are clambering over their own carcasses to access that dollar vault in the Central Bank of Nigeria. A free-for-all, an orgy of looting is what we have going on within the Nigerian space. Come share thoughts. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.